So we have some new behind the scenes footage and images from the early production on Joker Folie A Deux, including a potential look at multiple Jokers on the set of Todd Phillips' new DC film. The footage could mean multiple things, especially if we consider the first Joker movie and the mind of Arthur Fleck, who is of course an unreliable narrator. In this video, I'm going to be going over the first looks at the film and giving my theories towards what these images and clips could mean. Before I get into it though, if you want to keep up to date on any of my future content surrounding Joker 2, Matt Reeves' The Batman universe, and other upcoming DC films, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. But without further ado, let's dive into the new footage and images from the set of Joker 2. So Joker Folie A Deux is now in production and is currently filming in downtown LA. We know that the first Joker was set in New York City, and based on the behind the scenes images that we're getting, they've seemingly turned LA into the streets of an NYC that we're quite familiar with. And this could link into the other behind the scenes material that's coming out of the filming there, because it could be an indication towards some sort of hallucination for Arthur Fleck in the Joker sequel. I will come onto that idea of this being a hallucination a bit further into the video, but it's key to show some more of this footage before we discuss what it could all mean. So star Joaquin Phoenix has been spotted during filming back in heavy makeup for the Joker role, but he's not the only clown that's been spotted. And I'm not talking about Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, who is yet to be seen on set. No, I'm talking about the 3 different Jokers running around the streets in a supposed chase sequence. We got footage of Arthur Fleck being pursued on foot, as well as multiple police vehicles pulling out in front of this chase. On top of this, close-up set photos gave us a better look at Phoenix, who is not wearing the bright red suit and is instead wearing a dusty grey one and sporting smeared makeup. It's a more grungier look at Arthur Fleck than we've seen before, and you can definitely tell that when he's side by side with one of the other actors dressed up as a version of the character we saw in the original Joker film. If we take the actor in the bright red suit and the one with a follower's clown mask on, it seems on the surface that these would be followers inspired by the Joker's actions at the end of that first film. Of course, the rise of the Joker led to a rise in followers too, but based on the unreliable state of Arthur Fleck in that narrative, the question that remains involves whether this set footage from Joker 2 is reality or not. So let's now discuss the multiple options on the table when it comes to what all of this footage and images could mean. So in the most telling sequence that was caught on video, we clearly saw that Arthur jumps out of the back of a vehicle and into the middle of traffic, where a cameraman then follows him as the other clowns chase him up the street. One is wearing Arthur's Joker iconic suit, while the other has a clown mask on, as like I said before, it looks like one of the inspired followers from the end of the first film. So the 2 main scenarios that get brought up from this are 1, a potential dream sequence with Arthur being pursued by different sides of his damaged mind, or 2, something that is actually happening in real life. If it turns out to be the latter, which it still very well could be, then perhaps Arthur has been kidnapped by imitators who want him to lead the rising movement from the end of the first film. Of course, Arthur's actions did inspire those all over Gotham City when it comes to what we saw on screen, but again, the question is, was that all in his own mind? If it turns out that it's in reality, then it makes sense that others inspired by what the Joker symbolises would continue to cause trouble even after Arthur was put in Arkham State Hospital. If this is the route that's being taken, then you'd expect that either the followers have broken him out of the hospital, or maybe even Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn has been a part of that in some way, shape or form too. So that's one potential theory that I think we could be seeing. The other option though is probably the one that I'm most inclined to believe in, and I'm basing that on what we're seeing here and obviously the mind of Arthur Fleck. I mentioned before that the choice of filming in LA rather than New York seems quite weird, considering that you'd think they'd want to film in New York City to capture that authenticity. But like with the multiple Jokers and the weird approach that this behind the scenes footage seems to be conveying, it makes me believe that this is some kind of hallucination. Maybe that's why they are actually filming in the streets of LA, so that it gives off a weird aesthetic to everything that's being captured. My best guess, and of course this is just a theory, is that most of this movie could take place within Arkham State Hospital, and the scenes outside of that could be hallucinations or musical numbers that extend on the psychology of Arthur Fleck. So essentially, my theory is that most of the reality of the movie takes place within the hospital between Arthur and Gaga's Quinn, and then the fractured parts of Arthur's mind, and maybe even Harley Quinn's, are portrayed through these kinds of dream sequences that we're currently seeing on the streets of LA. For all we know, this might even be the first scene of the film, because back in Joker 2019, the film began with a chase sequence in which Arthur was chased and beaten by bullies. What if now we're essentially seeing the reverse to that, with him being chased by followers who love him in a dreamlike sequence? I think that would be a cool play on what this sequel is going to be about, and similar to that first Joker movie, the opening scene would really spell out to us the position that Arthur Fleck is currently in. Again though, this is all just theories, and I really love that they've started filming with this kind of scene, because it keeps the fans guessing without giving us any of the big reveals that we'll likely get. Of course, of the main actors, we've only seen Joaquin Phoenix so far, and in the film itself, the actor is going to be joined by actress Lady Gaga, Gleeson, Catherine Keener, Jake Laughlin, and Harry Lorty. Zazie Beetz is also apparently returning as Sophie, and she seemed to meet quite a mysterious end in the first film. So it's also possible that we could see her character back as Arthur's fantasy version of Sophie. So there's lots of directions that they could go in with this sequel, and it's definitely a smart choice to get people talking about this, and yet no one has a clear idea of what is actually going on. But what it has done is created interest in how all of this links together. I don't think we should expect a straightforward sequel with Joker Folie A Deux, as it seems that the film will be bringing more musical numbers, even if they are done in a typical Joker way. In the first film, we had some iconic musical moments, like with the dance down the stairs and the bathroom scene, and I'm sure that this time around, they are going to try and top that, especially if they add a musical performer like Lady Gaga to the production. But when it comes to the approach, we'll just have to wait and see. What this behind the scenes footage really tells us is that Joker 2 is going to really try to mix things up creatively and aim for a unique sequel by approaching multiple genres in a comic book film. But that was my video discussing the new behind the scenes looks at Joker 2. Again, knowing Todd Phillips' first Joker film, this footage of multiple Jokers could be anything, and until we get an idea of the plot itself, it will likely remain a mystery. But it does look intriguing, and it's something that reminds us of how this Joker sequel is looking to do something wild following the original from 2019. I don't think this is going to be a conventional sequel, nor do I think it's going to be a straight up musical like some people are worried about too. Yes, it sounds like it's going to lean more into those musical moments, but the original film did have some great examples of doing that well. So we'll just have to see what all of this means in the time ahead, and hopefully it's a sign that Joker 2 is going to be a very creative comic book movie in the vein of the things we've seen in recent times from DC Elseworlds movies. But let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are towards all of this new footage and images, and whether you think we are seeing multiple Jokers as hallucinations or actual inspired followers. For much more videos and news on Joker 2 and DC, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, rating, and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.